So like many positive feelings, happiness is very fast. And in that sense, it's hard to get a grip on exactly what it is. It feels good. It feels comfortable. Energy is flowing. But what creates happiness, and how is it different from something like joy or just glad? And the thing that brings about happiness is the fulfillment, meeting our human needs. So Abraham Maslow did a study of healthy human beings and discovered that we have a hierarchy of needs, that we work on one, then when we meet that, we go to the next level. And the first hierarchical step in our human needs is survival. So if our survival is in jeopardy, we're not sure where we're going to sleep, how we're going to feed ourselves that day, whether we will survive, a medical operation. As we move from uncertainty to actually surviving, we feel happy. As we found a place to sleep, we found a place to eat. The next is security. So after we made it, we're surviving right now, but what about tomorrow? What about the next day? And as we secure our future, financially, emotionally, mentally, physically, we feel happy that we're moving towards the fulfillment of our needs. Now, the next is love and belonging. That as social mammals, we need a sense of love and belonging. And this is a fairly complex need to meet because you have, at the low end, going from being ostracized to being included in the group, to not being ostracized. So there's a step in the right direction, an increased sense of happiness. As we go from being tolerated, being accepted, to being seen, to being understood, to this part of me was seen and understood, to now this other part of me that I wasn't sure if this part would be seen and understood and accepted with goodwill. So you have this movement towards more and more of us being loved and having a sense of belonging, that our eccentricities, etc. So that's kind of a big continuum, but it's level 3 in the hierarchy of human needs. Then we have self-esteem. And this is a big one for happiness in terms of one of the things that we feel happy about this. Self-esteem comes from first having values. Could be values of peace, could be values of success, whatever the value is. And then we have principles that are, being honest, being trustworthy, being reliable, whatever the principle is that corresponds with those values. As we clarify the principles, and then what we have to do in order to live those principles, and then we do those things, we earn self-esteem. There's a benchmark. This is the person I want to be based on my values and then these principles. And I'm doing it. My principle is to confront difficult situations as part of being a winner, or to tell the truth even when it's uncomfortable. And I was really uncomfortable and I told the truth. So there's a sense of accomplishment, that we're living consistent with our principles, which are consistent with our values or our ideals. And we feel happy. I like being the person I want to be. Now, next, we have talents. We have unique gifts that are something we do well. And nature always produces a gift of some kind. In the ecological framework of life and of birth, nature is always seeking to find balance. And so what's newly emerging is coming out of the past, is coming out of what's imbalanced often in the past. And so there's something that we can do well. Maybe we are very good at listening to certain things, or we're very sensitive to touch and would make an excellent masseuse. There's a gift that we do well. When we discover what it is and develop the gift, we feel a sense of happiness, a sense of accomplishment. And now that we've developed this skill, then the next stage is to integrate it into the culture around us, to benefit other people and ourselves with that gift. In other words, if I'm a great investor and know how to calculate and pick a good stock, then as I start trading the markets, I'm bringing that talent out into the world. And in the process, I'm creating value. I'm creating abundance. And as we create that abundance, there's another level of excitement and happiness, because who I am is making a difference in the world. Now, this leads then to the state of abundance, which is a sense of happiness. And each of these reinforce the levels before. For example, once you have a high degree of love and belonging, people that know you, care about you, will drive you to the hospital when you need help because they care about you, they value you, they love you. Your survival and security goes up. And similarly, when you bring your gift, your talent into the world, your sense of survival and security goes up again because you have access to more resources. You're bringing value, and in a commerce of exchange, the more value you give to other people, the more access to resources you have in return, particularly if that's done in a capitalist framework. But even in social sense, if you provide enormous value through your gifts to dozens or hundreds of people, then generally the law of reciprocity suggests that they're going to support your survival, because nobody wants a valuable person to just disappear out of their lives. So you're more secure in your survival than you've ever been. And this heightened abundance leads to a natural movement out of the self-absorption that comes when we're trying to figure out, can I survive? Can I make it? Am I able to survive? That's all about me. So there's a very self-absorbed type of attitude that comes when we're at the lower levels of need, because I'm not sure if I'll survive. I need to survive, so here's how I can move towards survival. And as we master a talent and then successfully bring it out into the world, the abundance that creates, the value that creates, leads to a deep sense of security about me surviving. And this results in the final need emerging naturally, often maybe over 40, over 50, in how can I be a meaningful part of something bigger than myself? My physical body, it's set. I'm going to survive. I feel secure. I have my sense of love and belonging. I'm proud of who I am. I know what my talents are. I'm bringing them out abundantly in the world. What's next? And the next need that we have at this stage of development is to become part of something bigger than ourselves. an ecological cause, a religious cause, an ideal, a company project where we can work together with our talents to synergize and create something even more, a whole organization, a larger project. To be part of something bigger than ourselves is a human need. And as we meet those needs at each step of the way, we feel happy. It's not a joy, it's just, it feels good to meet these human needs. And when we tend to feel happy, it tends to be, I like who I am, I feel comfortable, I'm not worrying about survival, I'm learning and developing new skills, and I'm succeeding. I'm bringing those out into the world, and ultimately, I'm focusing on something bigger than myself.